Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love, deep love. Once again, welcome back to Chats, Church, Joy. Welcome back to some time with Jack. I'm Jack Talcott. I hope you know. And anyway, if you don't, let's settle in today, brothers and sisters. Let's get to know what's going on, because I am so filled with inspirations once again today. I've been blessed with opportunities to spend time with some really powerful thoughts, inspiring thoughts, not just of my own, but from others as well. And I am truly excited today about what might come up and who may or may not join. So, mysteries of life, if you can get comfortable with that, the mysteries of life, the not knowing what exactly will happen. If you can get comfortable with that, guess what? That's half the battle. That's most of the battle. Matter of fact, that's all the battle. Because then you don't have to worry. If you can just flow with what is true, then you have the advantage of knowing. So, brothers and sisters, sincerely, happy Thursday to everyone. And choose love. Choose love. It's the only way we really want to live. And you deserve to live with love. We all do. And I think it's all going to happen in greater ways. See, this observation comes from my circumstances, part of reviewing yesterday's experience again. You know, and considering my perception, my observation, I see some truly wounded people around me. And I've been studying how to heal. And yet people want to believe in lies and walk away from the truth. Those who believe in lies abandon the truth. And what is a lie? Illusions of the truth. Illusions of the truth are lies that mislead. And only you can allow yourself to be deceived. It's nobody's fault but your own if you're confused or if you're misled. It's really nobody's fault at all in the greatest perspective. So the truth will stand alone. The truth doesn't matter if you walk away from it. The truth does not matter if you disagree with it. The truth doesn't matter if you hate it, right? The truth will stand alone. So when you do find yourself in the wrong, when you do find out, oh man, I believed in the wrong thing, I trusted the wrong person, I went the wrong way, I trusted the wrong information, accept responsibility. I trusted the wrong information and I went the wrong way. When we recognize that, the only obvious choice is to repent, to change, right? The truth will stand alone. So when you find yourself in the wrong, repent and humbly return to the truth. May we all have the faith, the peace, and the love as known through the ways of Christ Jesus today. And here's what I've come to accept for myself. Know God is truth and be righteous with your love. There's no reason to deny love. There's no reason to deny the truth. There's no reason to withhold the truth. There's no reason to withhold love. We live in a totally backwards and corrupted world. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm just helping you see what's pretty obvious. The greater world is pretty corrupted, and that corrupted world, it can corrupt your beliefs. And if you allow your beliefs to be corrupted, you start believing in the wrong things, you mislead yourself and others. You enable confusion. And we don't want to enable confusion. None of us do. None of us want to enable liars. We want to be honest. So, what prevents our honesty? It's crazy. It's absolute craziness. Nothing prevents our honesty. Nothing prevents our love. Nothing prevents our forgiveness. Nothing except our thoughts and our willingness. Here, I'm distracting myself because I'm in the description of the videos as well. Is an inspiring talk I listened to earlier. This just came through my feed, and the topic made me curious. It's higher immorality of U.S. ruling class, criminality of capitalist elites, with historian Aaron Good. And so I made a few notes. Oops, doggone it. Well, you know what? I'll drop the link anyway. um, I'm gonna flow for a bit, but the link is pinned now. And so right behind that link is this one. It's also in the description, I guess. Could have done that later. I encourage you to check it out if you enjoy intellectual conversations. I don't know anything about the channel. I don't know anything about the individuals. I don't even know about the author they were citing, C. Wright Mills. But I know what they were pointing out is absolutely true. And so to steal from what they created, not to steal, but to borrow on the higher immorality, okay, in this corporate and government system we've got in this world that has everyone at war and competing to be the better slave. Let me not be disrespectful. We live in a corrupted world, right? And only immoral people allow wicked to rise. Only immoral people, selfish people, fearful people, corrupted people allow wicked people to rise into power. So this observation is from a while ago regarding on the higher immorality. The level of moral sensibility that now prevails is not merely a matter of corrupt men. The higher immorality is a systematic feature of the American elite. Its general acceptance is an essential feature of the mass society. So, in other words, the mass society must accept the higher immorality, right? Where we're pointing to is the higher immorality is we've got these CEOs and executives and state officials. They're not thinking in the bigger picture. Their narrow focus is on profits or control or domination or exploitation, whatever it is. It's selfishness and it's insanity. And the only way that selfish billionaires, and I'm saying you've got to be selfish to be a billionaire in a world where people are still living far worse off than you and me. And I don't have to know you that you're better off than many people I'm thinking of right now. So the billionaire class is a result of selfishness. It's undeniable. Let's also recognize that that can only be achieved by the willingness and the participation of others. Every one of us is a part of this system of life. You can call it history, you can call it today, you can call it whatever you want. We're all united in this world we're experiencing today, and there is a humanitarian crisis going on throughout the world. It's time for wars to end. It's time for a change of focus. Okay? And here's where the divine can come in. Focus on God, you'll feel better. It's my personal testimony and experience. So, what I mean by that is you bring so much of God, thoughts of God, and feelings for God. You bring so much of that into your day to day experience that evil and darkness has no time, no space in your personal experience. And when you realize there is no evil, there is no darkness in my personal experience, what might God want me to do? I believe God wants me to lead others to become the light so that we can bring the true solutions forward. Brothers and sisters, if conscious people join together right now, today, we can have a ceasefire and the commitment for immediate reforms. All it takes is our willingness, our trust, our willingness and trust to unite together for the purposes of peace on earth, overcoming the divisions of wealth, authority that has conditioned people and taught people so many foolish things that people don't know what to do. They don't know how to behave anymore. Look at these YouTube panels to recognize unhealthy human behavior, adult behavior. These are species of animals, right? These are species of people that we're seeing on these various platforms, including me. I act like a fool sometimes. Sometimes it's for purpose. And that's what the others are saying too. But I'm pretty serious. I'm not wearing my Veterans for Peace branding today, but it's time for the wars to end. See, all of these wars that are happening, the evil is undeniable. The words, the evil state leaders, right? They're saying what they're doing. Many times they're lying. Like here, I watched the news recently, and for those who pay attention, I thought I heard Kamala Harris at the DNC rally saying, ceasefire now. Well, okay, what's holding her back? Nothing. What's holding the members of Congress back from doing more for freedom, for peace, for what the true principles of morality stand for? I mean, you don't have to be an expert to identify criminal behavior. Okay? And there's criminal conduct being perpetrated. We call it news, right? Lies, corruption, fear, propaganda. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. So what do you do? So what do you do? What I found to be helpful for myself is the conscious practice of surrender. Surrender to God. Surrender to the day. Surrender to the life I've been given and to the fact that I've been given life to experience yet another day. Praise God, man. Praise God. I never, in my wildest thoughts, well, my imagination would have never gone this direction in the past. I'm a testimony. I hated living. I wanted to die. By the grace of God, I found my way to alternatives. I opened my mind. Here's the path to surrender, right? Each of us, we're here to be true. We're here to be authentic. But many people have bruised hearts, right? Corrupted memories. We've got bad habits of thought and behavior. Everyone's all opinionated and argumentative, want to run around and accuse innocent people of horrible things. See, wars are happening. There are real innocent children and women and men both praying to survive and praying to die today. If you're one of those that's praying to make it through the day, I want to remind you, you're okay. And if you know people who are really having a tough time making it through the day, on the verge of breaking down, as their world is falling apart, reach out, send them my way, sincerely, because this is the way. Hank, blessings to you. I have not been paying much attention to the chat, but Hank, we can reason with the unreasonable when we come together. Oops. I think I froze there. I'm not sure what happened. We can reason with the unreasonable when we come together. It's cooperation. Yesterday in the chat, I was reviewing the stream and saw some of the comments, and I can't remember exactly what you said, but what my plan is teamwork. Simple as that. People cooperating with me for the same goal, resolving this nonsense. And what I know to be the path, if you want someone to change with care, help them feel safe that they can trust what you're saying, but we want to gently bring their awareness into honesty, an honest reflection of their own behavior. And the way to do that is to bring them into the present, for them to feel safe. For you to be safe, feel safe, you want to be present. But there's so many people that walk around, even if there's no danger around, they're living in this world they've imagined and learned about, where there's perpetrators on every corner and everyone's a liar and everyone's a manipulator. Nobody can be trusted. And if you live that way, it's hellish. It sucks, man. You feel all alone. And then you got other people telling you how good you are. So you feel good. You feel strong, but really you're a coward. Seems I ran across Paul Enslaved earlier today, and Snafu's been in my mind. For those who've been around the lore, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, here. You are in the perfect spot. If you're available, please join. Brainstorming is my best trait, dude. It's years of being afraid. My imagination. I never thought I had a good imagination because I could never like draw and paint and stuff like that. And I tried music and I just couldn't find any imagination that felt good for me. When it came to problems, dude, my mind is solid. I worked out a lot of problems. I used to carry around the world problems and spend all day wondering about those. But hey, welcome, my dear friend. How are you today, Hank?
I'm doing well. So I'm proud of you for what you did yesterday, which was you kicked Officer Snaps and King Steven off once you realized that they were stuck in their loop and didn't want to listen to anything you had to say, and just went ahead and did your sermon.
Thank you. I'm I'm trying to do the best I can. Some of these characters, man, holy cows, they're just so confused. And they're
Yeah, but
so go ahead.
the thing is, you want the reason with everyone, but some people refuse to be reasonable. Then I say just door slam them if they don't even want to make an attempt. They're just not worth the time at the moment. Maybe they'll catch up. Maybe they won't. But I'll put them on the back burner.
I've done that with many people. I've had to walk away. Matter of fact, the funny thing is chemo was one of those I had to walk away from because he was out of his mind, delusional. He thought it was okay to do what he did to me. Other people thought it was okay to laugh at it and to encourage him. That was years ago, but dude, Hank, I'm so grateful you're here. You know, this video, I bet you might enjoy it. Um some of the observations on governments and on economics and politics, it's pretty spot on, man. We have some of the things I took from there. We have what they call crackpot realism, right? Have you heard that before?
I have not, but I have a term that probably means the same thing. Truthiness.
Truthiness. Okay, I can see the similarity. Yeah. This crackpot realism is the idea that war is the answer, that we have to do things like the old ways, and those in the owning class, right? I don't know the right word. We'll call it elite just because that seems no, I don't like that. It's not
Yeah, it's oddly just stay owning class for now.
owning class. Yeah, okay, that's accurate too. Well, in today's world, yes. So they, from the top level, they see the chaos of the world. They don't see their part in it. They see themselves separated from it. So they view the world as out of control. And if the world is out of control, well, they need successful people like them to take charge. That's the entire, you know, echo chamber, I'm sure, of the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, but what's weird is that that's Officer Snaps' mo too. He just doesn't own anything. He thinks he's the elite. He thinks everyone needs to get behind him, including his own daddy, or you're just irrelevant.
Well, and that's the thing. He and others have been leading others the wrong way. Because after his little stunt, him and Chemo playing Gossip Queen together, there's people that buy into that crap, dude.
Yeah,
It's like,
and Snafu's not even um he doesn't even thank you for spoon feeding him all the information during your coaching session. You spoon fed him all the contact information, all the names, pretty much the whole narrative too. He didn't thank you a single time for it. You spoon fed him, and he didn't thank you for it.
he's very selfish and ungrateful. Hey, we've got another spirit man with us. Welcome back, Isaac. Good to see you again, brother.
Cheers.
Hey, maybe perfect timing. You know what? This is what I've been learning how to trust, to surrender. God's perfection.
Yes. I see a lot of people living in fear right now, but nothing is ever going to shake me. Only thing they can do is mess with our flesh, poison our minds, poison our conscience. What they can't mess with is like, who God says we are and what his plan is for us. They can't mess with our spirit. They can't mess with our soul. It's a lie. They only can touch our flesh. And what can flesh do unto thee? You know? So keep that in
That's
mind. In these hard times, they're attacking our flesh more than ever through chemicals, frequency, magnets. They're now controlling mice's brain with electromagnetic frequency. I just read. So
Well,
you just gotta trust in God in these moments. And every time I think I'm right and I'm mad at God, He goes to show me I saved your life, or this is exactly where you were supposed to be.
So that's where you're wrong. They can indeed trust hit your soul. That's propaganda. They could absolutely hit your soul. If
Never.
you're not taking control of it, they'll take control of you.
let me jump in. This is kind of with the theme of where I'm at. There's a lot of forces out there that can influence, right? There's a lot of information that can be tempting or corrupt or controlling, right? It's information and energies. We can only corrupt ourselves when we stray away from the truth. That's when we start sinning, right? That's the whole thing. Perfect honesty, the power of words. If we're not going to be honest, we should be silent. And that includes in our minds. We don't want negative thoughts. We don't want corrupted limitations, false egos, false pride. It's conditioned into this society, right? That's why people are enabling celebrity class. It's a false ego. The systems have corrupted mankind because God allowed mankind to become corrupted. But I truly trust and believe that it's very likely God is fulfilling prophecies through us. This is the time, the end of time, the realization, the return of Christ. It is here with us. I think it's through us, and I want to prove it.
Well, the moment you think you can't be fooled, that's when they got you.
Oh, beautiful.
God has told us that no weapon formed against thee shall prosper, my friend.
If we can, if we can convince ourselves that these words are true, right? That when we align with God, we may face challenges, we may even face pain and discomfort, but when we align with God, we are protected. And this is what I realized about myself. There was physical evidence and patterns in my life where something greater than me kept me safe from myself and others. So I got to give it up, man. There's powers far greater than us. So let's align with those. What I really want to help encourage people to do is let's walk the walk of Christ. Let's let nothing stop us from bringing peace to this world, overcoming the wars, overcoming the lies and the evil, because war is evil.
So
Beautiful.
So
Go ahead.
I want to say something real quick. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. That's Isaiah 45:7. So so God says a lot of things. So I would still be skeptical of even God's words because we can only interpret them through our senses.
Okay, so right. So take those words and bring them into personal experience. God does bring forth the good and the evil, the light and the dark. And we, with the wisdom of God, with the wisdom of knowing good and evil, we get to choose each day. Do we serve good, or do we allow the evil to continue? Let's stop the evil. These evil lies, man, sincerely, this is God's game. That's the number one fact. I'm not blaming anyone ever again. I've learned this is God's game. Unless you wanted to jump in, Isaac, were you okay? One of the thoughts I was considering earlier today was the description of the false ego. right? I've been saying the word ego. Ego's thrown around pretty commonly, and everyone does have an ego. The ego is who you are. But if we're not authentic, we've got a false ego. And this world of celebrity and authority, wealth, it's a bunch of nonsense based on false ego, not facts, not evidence. You know, someone who's paid a salary in a position is not better than me. Someone who has more money is not better than you, right? It's nonsense. So we're all on our own individual path, spiritual path and bodily path, but the purpose is enlightenment. So we're here to actually unlearn the ways of the world for those who have picked up the politics and the fear of others, and we're here to overcome and unlearn the worldly ways. As we unlearn what we learned wrong, that's kind of tied to the thumbnail. As we unlearn what we learned wrong, we actually, in my experience, I ended my own suffering, my own pride. My pride, man. I didn't realize how prideful I was until I accepted responsibility for my own suffering.
The only pride I find in is that which glorifies God.
That's a great way to live, my brother. That is my prayer. And Isaac, we're here, we're in the here and now, and God gave us the day and the universal energies, our choices, our paths brought us together. Isaac, you and I, my prayer is that God allows my life to glorify that of Jesus, because he lived to glorify God. And if I can glorify God and Jesus in my life from now on, well, then I will have repented from my ways.
Yeah. And Jesus was without sin, and sin is separation from God. Jesus had 100% faith in every moment of his life that God was with him.
That's amazing.
And even
I
though
was part of it.
he questioned him on the cross, yes, but he didn't have faith to not believe in him. He just said, "Why?" He didn't say you're not real.
Right. Right.
But yeah, but you have to understand, separation from God's not possible if God's omnipresent.
In your conscience. Separation from God in your conscience is sin.
Where is that?
It's
It's
the Holy Spirit taught me this.
All right.
and,
Well, the Holy
and if
Spirit
you,
told me something opposite. So we're at
well,
an impasse.
hold on, Hank, consider this, right? Because everything we experience is going to be through our consciousness. When we're unconscious, or if we are not aware of it, we're not conscious of it. And so that's actually what I think is real. We want to keep God in our thoughts. It feels good. And consider this too. I've been practicing this myself. This is part of my new practice of life. Choose love. Or no, not choose love, choose heaven. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Do it now. Do it often. Choose heaven. And then in your mind, realize, okay, what is heaven? Heaven is with God. So take your mind to God, where Christ is. And with God, and with God, we'll get the truth. With Christ, we get the love. We get the language. Praise
Faith
God.
without fear,
Yeah,
place
but if we
with
need God to
understanding.
have, if we need God to have thoughts, how can we have thoughts about God? It doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry,
There-
what? Say that
If
again?
we need God to have thoughts, how can we have thoughts without God?
That's
Because God
beautiful.
started it, God seeded it. He planted a seed of righteousness, and he's hoping it will grow.
He's the
Think,
seed and the whole garden.
things are and things exist, whether we're aware of them, we understand them or not. And if we don't bring things into our mind, how are we going to show any appreciation?
Yeah. And when you plant a seed of righteousness, you're planting a neurological pathway in someone's brain that is a way out of like this world's existence and like pain and suffering. When you speak to someone in a new way, you're creating a new neurological seed that has a pathway. And you could follow this pathway and you could map your whole brain with the pathway of God and not have it full of unconscious, impure things that they have done through MK Ultra in this whole world as a way to study and control. And everything you say is a seed. It's a
Yes,
metaphor.
but MK Ultra is not possible unless God allowed it.
Correct. Well,
God gave
here,
free will to
yes,
Satan,
and
and
us.
Satan did it, and
Well,
man did it.
Yeah,
I,
and if God wanted to, he could just blink Satan out of existence instantly, even before we even knew about him. He could retcon the universe of Satan not to exist in the first
Yeah,
place.
yeah, because he
correct.
understands there's a greater purpose, and we can't actually be harmed.
That is the
We're
truth.
trying to learn, and he's giving us free will as a chance to choose God over Satan. And Satan deceived us from the beginning. He wanted to be worshipped like God, and that's who I blame. I don't blame humanity, but humanity sure fucked up a lot.
Well, and
Well,
those ideas were conditioned into humanity, and there's many people who want to live as rulers in hell rather than working together to bring heaven to earth. And that's where the devil of deception, the devil of confusion, the devil of confusion can take over us. And in the confusion, we find our fear, our worry, our hate. That's where the devil is. It's within us all. But also within us all is Christ. The Holy Spirit can walk with us. It overcomes the confusion. How do we overcome our confusion? Think of God.
so I believe we're all saved in the end, which is why I can live without fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Which,
clear.
which is also why, if I have a chance to, which I believe we do, if there's a chance to be a part of playing this game of history and life with God, if God will allow me to be a part of ending wars and bringing inspiration for immediate reform through the governments and corporations, if God would allow that to happen, wouldn't that be amazing? I
I
mean,
dream of this. I dream of that. I've talked about that on like 6 panels.
Isaac, let's work together. Let's
Yeah, dude.
find a way.
Let's after this. I don't know. We could brainstorm, get a piece of paper and a pen, and go behind the studio, or we could do it here. It doesn't matter.
Hey, it makes a better
Let's just
world
do it
for us.
now. We just do it
I,
now.
I could
But
get a pen.
yeah,
Well, I actually trust, especially this brainstorming ideas, right? When we do this in a positive, creative way, man, God reveals, man. That's the way teamwork is supposed to be. And
Yeah.
I have a feeling everything is coming together. I'm seeing so many different people, different organizations rising up, doing things they care about. Oh, that reminds me, I totally spaced. Unrelated but related. My experience offline. I forgot to share my story, but I ended up at a Jewish Voice for Peace rally yesterday afternoon at the local Democrat gathering, Democrat office. But it was gathered with not just Jewish Voices for Peace. There was Veterans for Peace. There was a few other organizations, people there. It's time for wars to end. Wars are evil. I'd like to first, I think the best way for the entire world, to be honest, I think the first war that if we come together, we can help end this war in Congress between the Republicans and the Democrats, between the governments and the people. We can end those wars and get the people in Congress on our side, right?
Yes.
What makes wars make profits for some.
Yes.
We want peace. We want prosperity for all. And I'm sure that's what God wants, right?
Okay, but what are you gonna say to people who say they know God better than you do? That God wants me to be king. You have to interfere with some of those people.
I would
You have to
ask
interfere.
them, what are their facts? Because the truth is the truth. And I don't really care what people believe. I want the facts. And the facts are truly, there is structural immorality written into the laws of rule. There is immorality written into the systems, and it has literally driven mankind insane. Insane from confusion, insane from
Yes.
greed, insane from fear, insane from lust. It's evil.
Yes. So what they would say is it's true. It's true because the impossibility of the contrary. Yeah, they would say it's impossible that they're wrong, so they're right. I can
Again,
start them
we go
today.
to the facts. The facts prove selfishness is corruption, that the way we're here to live, the teachings of all of the ascended masters, the divine people, the people that religions were built around, their message was love, right? And there's no war with love. There's no arguing with love. There's no fighting with love. There's no obedience with love. There's actually submission. So we either submit ourselves and apparently love government, love debts, love the corruption, because if we're submitting to it, we must love it, right? Following the logic.
Yeah. Well, they would say that they were chosen by God, therefore you're supposed to submit to them.
And here's where we remind the employees of the federal government, those people who have raised their hands and they go to work, their job is in Congress. We remind them that they serve us. They exist. The government exists for the service and support of the people, not the manipulation and deception and oppression of the people. It's time for righteous to rise. There's no reason, there's no excuse that I can accept in my heart anymore that says I can't do something to end wars. And I've been trying to figure out, what do I do? What do I do?
So, so they would say that isn't what God told them. They would say,
Well, Hank,
Mhm.
please stop imagining what they would say so that we can talk about how to get to them.
Future.
I'm telling you, you can't reason with the unreasonable.
Are you reasonable?
Yes, but you're saying that you can. So I need you to show me.
I don't, until we have evidence that the 600 people, all of them, and I'm generalizing, but the 600 people in Congress and the administration of the White House, let's give at least a benefit of the doubt to God and to faith, right? To truth. Let's give a benefit of the doubt that some of those people in Congress are able to reason. And if we get some of the people in Congress with the ability to reason, we can support them and get the other ones out of the way. We don't have to wait for an election cycle for them to tell us when to throw an opinion. We can do something I've imagined every day for a long time.
I have a
We've got,
yeah, I have an idea. I
go
have a
ahead.
really good idea. It's simple almost. It's you have a lot of people that can gather together for many different riots and different things. Why not make a gathering of nations and people for peace across the whole world, align a time, have it broadcasted on every network, right? But then you would probably see a lot of evil try to infiltrate. So it'd be possible, but then there'd be sacrifice on the line. And it would show something, it would prove it. It's kind of interesting. But there's also a thing I've been thinking of was like corporate incentive. Why don't there be like, I mean, this is the start of it, but like I've thought about this like for a while. Like there's been a ripple effect in a town where they got like a tax write-off or some sort of like bonus for having chicken coops and chickens. And they saw like a huge decrease of like compost and like so I don't know, there was like a whole, I could probably look it up and find all the lists, but there was like a ripple effect. So if these corporate like people were incentivizing people to be more productive and like be at peace, like I don't know, it's they're feeding us like garbage, you know. They're not giving us like seeds like to grow in a harmonious way. And there's so many ways to do it with money, and almost money would have to be involved because so many people are mind controlled by it. And that's what they
Yes.
use to control people.
But the problem,
The
Isaac, is
corporates
that we can't
aren't
even get
doing
them
it.
to enforce the policies already on the books. I mean, we're
Yeah,
not
so I'm
supposed to
saying
have
you would have to
monopolies,
first
yet we're not
unionize.
enforcing the policies that are already on the books to break them up. We're not
We would need to
we're not
unionize.
following the rules that are on the books already, which we
Yeah,
already get most of it's done. We're not even following the rules already on the books.
And that
So just writing some more rules isn't going to do it if we're not
that's what I
going to
know.
follow
It
the
has
rules
to be
already on
a
the
conscious
books.
thing. It has to be a conscious. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. If it's another rule, it won't work. If it's another law, it won't work. If it's another bill, it won't work. You have to do something consciously to the minds of the people, or it's never going to work. I
and
agree
that's
100%.
brother, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, so
I
I'm just
want
thinking of ideas. I'm kind of bouncing them off the wall. Yeah.
well, the way I see it is should I mean the way I see it is we have the technology today right now. I could have a conversation from this setup right here with people in Congress who might want to be a part of trying to end wars, right? And then we find a way to have more of them together. And we take this idea of ending wars and bringing forth reform immediately. We take this seriously, which I think, if given the opportunity to talk to these people, instead of remind them, you're not a congressman, you're not a Republican, you're not a Democrat, you're a human being, you're a child of God, you're no different than me, we're different colors, different backgrounds, we have different thoughts, but we're all the same, right? As are
And
the poor
humanity
people.
is breaking at this point, and they don't even know what to do. Like
I want to
honestly,
help them. I want to
yeah.
help them know what to do. They don't know what to do. And this is it. The prideful won't admit when they don't know what to do. But we've got all these politicians saying, vote for me because I'm not as bad as him. And it's like, what is this nonsense? And not to mention the poverty that's continuing in all around. There's so many evictions. The homelessness is growing here in America, let alone the funding of wars and militarization all around the world through the American taxpayers. And then I see them bragging about how much they got hundreds of millions of dollars in the last couple of days for Kamala's, pageantry to get back in the circus. What the fuck are we doing? Seriously, this world is nuts. We can't give up. We can't lose faith. We've got to help each other have faith. And through faith and through our willingness, we will find a way. I got a lot of ideas how to get
So,
there, but
yeah. Something I wanted to testify about was amazing last night. I was on a stream with a Muslim, and they were having the most beautiful conversation with me. And I've never seen someone peacefully so harmonized talk to me about God and everything that, or maybe it was Islam. I can't remember now. Oh man, that's kind of huge, probably. But it was so beautiful, and they were like, it was just like, wow, we believe the same thing. Like,
yeah,
and, like, they have us, like, tripping politically on stuff like that, and I'm like, "Wow, dude," and my mind was blown, and I had, like, tingles in my body because this guy was so respectful, so honorable, so peaceful, and he believes that Jesus is a prophet, and he believes that, Mary is the most honored woman in the world, and, like, and it just really reached to me and understood, and I understand, like, how much they still honor these aspects of God, like, in the same way. They just kinda don't think he's the son of God. But then I brought up the idea, I was like, "Oh, Mary Magdalene was respected, right? And you're saying she's the highest woman in the world, where she is, like, testifying that he is." And, so he kinda was thinking, and, it was very, but I'm not saying he was, I'm just
No.
trying to say that there's verses also that's like God will see their love and their righteousness. Like, even if they, like, were on the straight path, they just kind of never looked that deeply into reality. It almost sounds like he understands those people, and it was like
So you
kind of
talked to the
connected.
machine lights yesterday too. Interesting. That's all stuff he
I don't
says.
remember
He's
who
the
it
one.
was.
Okay.
It was just beautiful, and I never have had a conversation like that with, like, a lot of Christians, and it was just, like, made me, like, high, like, feel alive and, like,
Those are
free and
great,
loved, and he was so respectful to me, like.
Isaac. My hope is to offer things like that, but those are amazing. And I wonder if it was. Is it on your channel? Did you stream it, or was it somewhere else?
It was somewhere else. I'll
All
meet him
right.
tonight. I'll remember. He'll probably be back on the other guys. He's always on there.
Okay. Very cool. Well, I that's one of the blessings I've observed. Seriously, guys, these YouTube platforms, these public Zoom calls, it's kind of what they are. I mean, it's at least the way I do it. I'm not all creative with the stuff. Um, it's an incredible opportunity in this lifetime, whatever age we are experiencing a time unlike any other in our recorded history. We have the ability of communication. We have the ability to gain seriously college level education online. There's professors and experts and artists of so many different ways just sharing their wisdom, their talents. We live at a time where I dream. Here's what I dream. I don't know how it happens, but if someone can make it happen, the end of secrets and lies. That's what we want. That's what God wants. God didn't create humanity for us to be holding secrets and telling lies to each other so we could justify the profits of war. That's nonsense. So when secrets are no longer legal, lies are no longer enabled and profitable, we start working together with the truth. And we work together to develop what is the truth. And we can put together, if people weren't so enslaved to these jobs, there's companies and manufacturers making crap that just it's garbage, right? We're making and producing and consuming so much as a species, we don't know what to do with our trash anymore.
Yes. So what I need you to understand is that if everyone just gave up their secrets today, there's some evil people out there that will use them to leverage you and get everything they want right now. Then they don't care what you had to say.
I don't care what they care about. Oh, this is actually a life lesson I was thinking about earlier. These words can sound confusing, okay? But follow the logic. To find peace in your heart, stop caring. Now, it sounds cold, right? But when we care about people, we care about things, we care about the past, we worry, right? Because care brings a worry. God doesn't worry. God may not care, right? God gives us free will, loves us one way or the other, loves and allows us to be. So, damn it, forgot where I started. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there, the problem, the problem is this is
Don't
where the
care.
rubber's mode. There's just some people that don't care that also don't care about ending wars. That's to be the hardest wall to get through. There's people who don't care that don't care whether we end wars or not.
This is what kills us spiritually, Hank. I was thinking about these thoughts earlier, right? I found peace in my heart by convincing myself not to care. I don't care about the future anymore. I don't care what people think. I don't care about my problems. I appreciate. When I don't care, I can appreciate, right? And when I appreciate, I don't worry. And yet, with appreciation, there is care. So the key is, right, the words, the power of words. We're here to appreciate each day, each moment, because it's a gift God has graced us all with. And so, if you can stop caring and start loving without conditions, well, then you're free. And that's the way God wants us to be.
Yes. So my only answer when I come to that point is simply to be more mighty than they are when I run into them. That's my only answer. I can't figure anything else out.
Well, I can convince people. This is where I want to show the people in Congress. I don't care their party affiliation. I don't care about their beliefs. I don't care about their excuses. The facts prove the facts show that war is evil, that ceasefires and immediate reforms are available today. So I don't care if they don't want to do what
Yes.
they're expected to do, but that's what they're there to do.
What's crazy is that every nation's army could become a military police for peace and immediately draw fire and be someone that negotiates for peace all around them. And they would have massive amounts of people going around for peace instead of for war because they're all signed up. Oh my God. And they'd be from that nation. So they'd be like the good guy.
I'd rather see our
It's like if
young.
everyone in the military said, "Hey, we're joining the Peace Corps. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Fuck you
Well,
guys. Fuck you. We're joining the Peace
come
Corps."
on.
That if that happened, dude, it's literally that it's like a mind-blown matrix to me just now.
Yes, it's an if that happened. Um, but I'm gonna take my leave now. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Hank.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Blessings to you, brother. Um,
Yeah, because I mean, it takes a lot for me to get angry, but that made me angry to think about
well,
how they have us. Oh man, and
hey,
I'm not
anger.
usually awake to it. So I'm sorry, forgive me for doing that and shit, but I was talking to the people running the wars, like
Hey,
mad. But I should be like, yo, the grace of God should be with you. And we actually would like to accept the fact that people can change. And
yeah,
if we really could speak to you ever, you know, we don't judge you. When we say we don't care, we don't judge. We're looking at a deeper picture for the future,
thank you.
basically.
That's
And I
well said.
shouldn't have done that. I just like got angry. Yeah.
Hey, brother, this is it. There's a lot in this world. The anger can be righteous, but we don't want our anger to cause us to be unrighteous, right?
Yeah,
When we
or
allow
ripple effect to make other people like it. I don't want to ripple effect that. No.
I hope, I mean, genuinely, my honest hope and purpose with doing these live streams, I see a ripple effect in my mind. If I can
Yes.
connect with other people and help other people have more light, more love, more faith in their own life, well, that's going to spread and that's going to
Yeah.
carry. And eventually, everything's going to come together. But the solution is very simple: no
Yeah.
more lies.
Yeah, the ripple effect like mentally is like if you show someone love, chances are they're gonna know what that felt like and show someone else some love. If you forgive someone and they've never forgiven themselves, most likely they'll forgive themselves and they'll move on and they'll probably forgive other people and spread grace and mercy and not revenge. It's like a ripple effect. It has to be real.
This is where community is important. And this is what's crazy, right? I keep I have not achieved what I keep hoping to achieve, but I know the only way to do it is with cooperation and teamwork. And that's actually what I want to talk to Congress about is cooperation and teamwork instead of the political division and the chaos that's, being ignored. Let's wake
Yeah,
up.
we're not like instead of voting for different presidents, we should be voting like here's one policy versus this policy. Which one do you like? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of interesting. It's not really like the masses are deciding anything.
Even
It's
more
fake.
so. Even more so. Well, there's so many ways we can do it. What you mentioned with the military, I've envisioned take our young and brilliant, our healthy military service men and women who raise their hands, are committed to serving.
Yeah, and they do what they're told.
Well, let's help them. Let's have them help
They want peace.
restore. Let's have them work to restore
Wow.
and build, right? Not
Wow.
only in our own nation, restore and support the agriculture of our own nation.
How
Let's
do I
send,
talk to the general?
I don't know.
That's probably not that hard. You probably send a letter.
There's a lot of opportunities. And I love what you're brainstorming, man. It's
Because no,
about
literally,
uniting
if they
people.
listen, they're dedicated and they want peace. They all believe in peace. That's why they're doing it. Why are they not peace officers? Like, see, I don't get it. Like, because there's terrorists. Is that the thing? That's real.
Well,
Like,
people are conditioned to obey. And the fearful, the people who are, here's, see,
like, how would you teach that to a
Isaac,
terrorist? Yeah,
how about this? I'm dead serious. I can explain this stuff so many ways. And with support, we could get these experts who I've been learning from who can explain this stuff maybe a little more clear than me. But I see a solution. The American government is corrupt. The entire system, the entire international banking system has been profiteering and supported by the American way. It's time for us to fix the problems. I believe, Isaac, I say this humbly, but I've analyzed my life very closely, looked at my goal, and I'm not lying when I say I believe that God has created me for this purpose, to be an advocate for the truth and a messenger
same.
for peace. You are too.
So, like, are you like, okay, say you had $50 and you could do something good with it. Would that help you? Like, would
No.
that change anything?
Thank you. No. My focus is on we can end the entire Federal Reserve. That whole power structure can be
Yeah.
reevaluated and redesigned very quickly. And I would love an opportunity like you were thinking, Isaac.
I'm just saying you don't I'm just saying I was just thinking hypothetically, like, you have $50, right? Like, how could that help? How could that help something? Will it?
Mm-mm.
Like, what, like, you know what I'm saying? Or
Well,
is it worthless?
for myself, I live in a world that still charges money for everything, and I got utilities and all that stuff. There's a few bills coming up, but I'm not looking. I am hoping to find people who have been living a life with abundance, because someone like that could invest some money very easily, and it would be money well spent. And, you know, it would, at the very least, help me keep my mind from the money things of how do I pay for this and which thing do I actually buy, which ones do I put off. Poverty sucks, man, and I'm living a life of comfort and abundance.
Oh, cool. I
Poverty
just like I
sucks.
don't know, I was trying to think like what could $50 do? Like how like what's the best way to help someone with $50? Like I'm trying to think about it instead of giving it to them. Like it's interesting. And not look for anything in return.
It
I'm just like
depends.
literally trying to think about it.
It depends on who it is.
Like how many people need $50 for rent? Probably a lot of people.
Dude, yeah, there's folks that are, they're looking at their eviction. I got to come up with $100. You know what? If you're in a place where that's a consideration, I would go to God. God, where would this be best served?
That makes sense.
It might be in you investing in a new class. might be you doing something healthy for you. Sometimes to give to the world, we do need to give to ourselves. So it's really easy to, it's hard to find the balance. You know, I've been dealing with this myself. You know, how much do I spend on me versus give away and try to be, but the excuse, non-excuse I've given myself is God really doesn't care about money. God takes care of everything. I don't have to worry about money or making myself feel good by giving money away. What I do offer is everything I have in abundance. You know, I see someone struggling, I offer, can I be of support? You know, is there something we can do? Um, and then, of course, I do share money when it's available, but what I've realized, life happens moment by moment. We don't have to try too hard to be good. Just have faith and do what love would move you to do. And what I've been thinking, the prayer I keep asking to God, God, what do I do? What do you want me to do? I never really get an answer, but the most logical answer I get is be you.
I would speak to the general of the United States.
I want to speak to all of Congress and Joe Biden.
Yeah, but
Help
the
when
general
God
is
help him
higher up
too.
than all of them. If you think about it.
Yeah, no, because the commander in chief by the hierarchy is over top of all of the generals
On
and
some level.
well,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But on some level, it'd be a decent person to talk to. I mean,
they would be a wonderful ally. I'd actually be very interested in having conversations with judges, generals, you know,
yes. It gets
executives,
yeah, it hit me
anyone.
hella hard. Like I want to write a paper right now and send it to the right person. 100%. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not kidding when I'm like, yo, I think that'd be important if you could know how to do that. But
Follow your heart. The spirit will lead us, man. Trust in the spirit of inspiration and then ask yourself, if I do this, is there harm?
has anyone ever done that? Are they allowed to make moves without people doing it? Like what are they can they consciously have they even had that ripple effect? I don't know.
Well, hey,
What if I've
actually,
okay, so I have a weird stuff has happened to me in my life where I have had very high officials reach out to me. I've had the Illuminati try to get me like 25 times. I've had the Church of Scientology try to get me a few times because I wrote a 2-page paper to them, asked them about duality. They asked me how I knew about it. They called me at 11:30 at night after I sent the paper with 2 people on the line, and they were like, "How do you know this stuff?" And I said, "The Holy Spirit taught me." And they were mad at me, and they were like, "No, no, no. How do you know this? So like you have to know this somehow." I said, "The Holy Spirit taught me," and I told them 3 times in a row, and they hung up. And then I had the FBI at my house because I had solved math problems on a piece of paper. So it's like kind of interesting, right? It must be easy to get back to him. Like,
brother, that's you're living a very interesting life. And I don't understand your stories yet, but man, you've been facing some interesting things.
and
Okay,
they do a
so
lot of that shock treatment and stuff at the Church of Scientology. It's very weird.
it's a
So makes me very curious about all that. It's like a big old
well,
experiment.
I've
Has
heard I
spiritual powers or something.
God has shown me a lot of different things in this world. And where I'm at, the world is far more mysterious, far more bizarre, far more everything than most people think. And I trust that is by God's perfect design. God is so incredible, so underestimated, man. So underappreciated for sure.
Yeah.
Because the stories of the Bible, as I understand, God created us to be a part of the family, right? To unite with the Father, with love, with the willingness to love, the willingness to serve God. It's our choice to accept or deny, but we can never make a choice until it's thought of. I trust it's God that allows all ideas, and it's through the power of mind we can choose heaven. Bring God, the perspective of God, bring heaven into the thoughts, into the mind. What would bring heaven to earth? What would be the perfect answer? What would be the perfect
Heaven is on the
song?
inside. It's in the heart. It's in the soul. It's in the frequency. It's in the vibration. It's in your harmonization. And then the kingdom of heaven is that which resonates by more than one. So if two people are resonating in heaven inside of them, it's not on the outside, it's on the inside, or it would just be another golden city like LA. If it was a nice place with nice things and people weren't on the right frequency, in the right conscious state, it would just be another city, right? No, the kingdom of heaven, it's described as a conscious matter of consciousness and truth. It's in the air. It resonates the air. Truth is in the air. It's like, I don't know. I see it clearly when I say these things, but it probably sounds very deep.
Brother, no, you're absolutely true. That's what I've heard and accept from. I mean, I've heard things similar, thought things similar. I accept that. Those who believe in lies abandon the truth, but the truth is right there, right? It's always right there. What is true is always available, but a confused mind will never see, because our pride keeps us from learning different things, greater things. It's a perfect design. If we want to end our own arrogance, you got to admit you're arrogant. If you want to end your own weakness, align with God. Surrender yourself, your whole consciousness, your whole spirit, your whole physical body. Surrender it all to God through your intention, and so that you become an empty vessel, which is the way we're created. We are an empty vessel for the love of God to work through. But if we fill ourselves with love, we're useful. If we fill ourselves with fear and hate, we're miserable. It's really that simple. God is
Yeah, that's
so,
why I was laughing. It's so simple, like wow. It's
right?
everywhere. Like I could see it, yeah.
God is so amazing. Here, we've got a friend, but someone with doubts. Welcome back, Wildheart.
Oh,
Cheers, brother.
how's it
I'm gonna
going?
take a quick break. Cheers, bro. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hi, Jack. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Have you been listening today?
I'm not, no, I've literally just tuned in, so you might have to catch me up, or
Well,
carry on if you want. Yeah.
just recently, Isaac and I, he's a very spiritual man, as am I. We were just having good conversations on God. The topic today, change of focus. And the idea of a change of focus, it's to abandon the lies, to return to truth, right? We've got so many people focusing on their beliefs and fighting and arguing. And, those who believe in lies abandon the truth. The truth is there for us to accept or not. And the bigger picture that I'm always focused on is ending the wars and the corruption.
Yeah.
So, in the description of the video, I mentioned it earlier, is another video I watched earlier regarding political economic commentary and history of how corrupted these selfish systems are. So The true message behind change of focus is we all have the opportunity to focus on ourselves, to be selfish with our thoughts, our beliefs, be real bitter and tough with our feelings. Or we can change our focus, focusing on trying to discover what is true. Because everything that is true, it comes up in moments of life. We only have moments, and we're here to pay attention to life, not focus on the memories of life. We're here to focus on life and living and becoming authentic and pure and true. It's really that simple. People have forgotten who they are because they were taught to believe others.
Yeah.
In the end, there is no others.
I would just say that I can see it getting difficult. You were talking about like political things and that, when it gets to systems like political parties and that, like it seems whoever wins, like if you've got two parties, whoever wins, it's not perfect and different things are going to go well.
Yeah.
It's fine for the individual, but like on a bigger scale,
It's gonna turn the tides. It just turns the tides. Yeah. It doesn't make the water still. The water doesn't become still. They're turning the tides. What you said just blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. It's just what you said. It's like fine on a personal level, but like I said, there's problems when it comes to like politics and nations and stuff like that. Everyone has to agree to kind of move the right direction or the same direction. Do you know what I mean? No.
I hear what you're saying. I've heard that from a lot. I've heard it repeated from many people. Well, everyone needs to agree for this, and that's a bunch of crap. Look at the world today. People aren't in agreement. What we have, it's an illusion of order. It's organized irresponsibility. Organized irresponsibility. Right? All these structures of authority, layers of bureaucracy, it allows individual employees to deny responsibility. So they have no culpability for ordering the employees to just pour the toxins in the river. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right? We have organized irresponsibility that literally funds and enables evil. We don't have to continue this. This is our lifetime to change it, as a matter of fact. That's what I want. That's what I realized for myself. And I really want to remind everyone, this is our lifetime to change the world.
So Wildheart, your shirt stood out to me. One time I was in one time it might be countering. I don't know. So I was in Colorado. I mean, I was on my way to see my dad's dad before he died, and for some reason I was 18. I just started reading the Bible and I took it with me, and I was just going through it, and the only thing was on my mind for about 2 weeks was the Bible and nothing else. And so I go to the mall with all my family and I sit down, and I sit in the perfect spot where I look on the wall to the left, and there's a D on the outside of the wall of the mirror. I mean, of the glass, and it looks like a B. And then the next letter on like that I could see that aligned perfectly left to right on like one of the signs was an E. And then I kept reading it, and then like the Taco Bell, it was like then another E, and then it just spelled out believe in the mall right in front of my eyes.
That's
It was
cool.
insane. It was like the most synchronized event I've ever had. And then and then the next night we were in Canada. I was listening to the Book of Revelation as I went and got my dad got me some weed because I was not old. No. I actually got weed from a homeless guy. That was in Washington on the way. This was in Canada. I got weed from a homeless guy, smoked a blunt, was worshiping God and reading the Bible, sat down on the end of a pier with water, being still, meditating and reading Revelation or listening to the audiobook. I get back to the hotel. I text my cousin that everything aligned to when I laid down in the book of Revelation, all around me, everywhere perfectly. When I was like looking, and like it was the weirdest thing. And I was like, and then he's like, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, I just saw some weird ghost lady in Winton under a light. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? It was so weird, bro. Like the book aligned to my surroundings perfectly.
Well,
It was weird.
but if you notice, like
So
the
it was
light,
2 days in a row. Like it showed me believe, and then that happened. So I don't know if it's anything. I'm just like I see the synchronicities everywhere.
yeah. But I think it's clever because it's believe, but the lie is highlighted. Believe, but lie.
But what does V mean?
V,
V.
5 in Roman numeral.
Here's something I want to caution everyone to consider, please. Partial truths create total confusion. People want to go around believing everyone is a liar. Those people are liars, right? And the problem with assuming everyone is a liar, well, guess what? You might dismiss important wisdom. You might overlook opportunities if you believe everyone is a liar, and liars project and assume lies. Honest people will share a heart of understanding. They will care to know. They will want the truth. That's the whole objective of life. But we have this world where everyone is prideful, arrogant, think they know everything. I mean, no offense to my friend Hank, but the disagreements we found were what he imagined others would say. We don't have to disagree in the present time. I mean, I think can we agree? Can we agree that wars and the results of war are evil, or should we break into that and go into how evil war is?
I would say bad. I'm not comfortable with evil. I would say
Why?
I would agree with bad.
What details would convince you that war is evil?
I just don't agree with the concept.
I don't care. I don't care. The word is evil. We're not going to minimize. Here's what I saw earlier. You made the claim that it's something about the system, and I may have misunderstood you, but you made a claim that it's not perfect. Well, the system is flawed. The system is corrupt. Let's call it what it is, right? We got to accept that evil is evil before we're going to stop saying it's okay.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying it's bad. It's just, to me, evil has like a spiritual kind of meaning behind it.
Right.
And I'm an atheist.
Murdering innocent people. Murdering innocent people.
Bad. I'm just not comfortable with the label evil. But we could go with evil. I know what you mean.
Why? Yeah. Okay. See, this is an unnecessary disagreement. I allowed myself to get distracted.
Yeah. So no offense, Jack, but it's not just my imagination. It's recorded conversation of what people actually said to me.
Okay, great, Hank. You want to assume the worst. You don't want to consider the benefit and the importance of what I'm saying. I mean,
I considered it, but the fruits of it I don't like.
Great. Well, Hank, I love you, my friend. I don't want to battle.
It's just like, wait, what? I have a question. I have a question. What level, Hank, do you resonate with Jack? Like, on what level do you find the truth? Like, where is the misunderstanding? What do you find that he says that's true?
Yes, so I totally agree. Wars are stupid. We should end them, but I don't agree to know secrets, because secrets is how you keep evil people from getting leverage over you, like Officer Snaps did over Jack. So
okay, that's smart. I'm hearing you.
Again, the way to overcome evil is to unite. I mean, here, Nude, you keep all of you people, and I don't mean to generalize, but there's many of you who want to tell me what I'm wrong about. I realize this, Nude Guru, and sincerely, I truly honor and respect the wisdom you share, but your doubts have blown my mind that you don't see what I'm doing here. I agree. I am not responsible for others. They are. I can inspire, however, by maintaining the responsibility of self first and foremost. It's up to them either way. You're right. Absolutely right. What I'm
Yes.
suggesting is cooperation. Is anyone willing to encourage others to encourage me instead of oppose me? That'd be a
Here's,
great change.
here's the thing. I don't understand. I am too stupid to understand
You're
how to
not.
cooperate with people who just want to dominate me, like Paul and Snafu's going to make world peace. I'm
Yeah.
too stupid to get it.
Now I see that's where
Try.
it is. That's the divide.
You're not stupid, Hank, by the way, and it's good to see you.
Well, they're not here. I'm asking you to cooperate with me. I mean, I actually think that if people cooperated with me, we could overcome the likes of Snafu and Steven. Steven's here in the back.
Okay, let's just show me how to do it.
That's the problem, Hank. Are you not here with me?
I am here with me.
I would
Now,
say the
I'm
feet
too
being
stupid to
gone.
understand what you mean. You just demonstrate with Steven real quick, or maybe I can
Well,
understand it.
no. How do I demonstrate teamwork? Tell you what, Wildheart, Isaac, are you guys willing to cooperate with me so Hank can understand what teamwork looks like?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yeah, I do need a quick nicotine fix as my blood is, um, uh, used to it. So I'll be right back though. I'll be listening.
All right. Hey, I have subscribers only mode on because I'm sick of people wasting my time in chat who don't even share the respect of subscribing to me. Is that what you joined for? You've been asking a few times in the back. This is fascinating. The selfish behavior that so many people are so proud of. They want to offer me interruptions and why is it not my way, Jack? Well, because God is having me do it this way. So, what I'm hoping for is we can confront arrogance and manipulation together. Welcome back, Stephen.
Hello.
Hello, Jack. Hello, Wildheart and Hank, my old friend Hanky. We shall overcome. We
Do you think that's what I want?
Well, you mentioned overcoming. You mentioned
So
that
what?
you
So
mentioned my
what?
name.
Hey, Stephen, are you selfish or are you real?
I am real, and I'm keeping with the theme of what you're talking
How
about.
about just stay in the conversation with
Okay,
me? You said you're real. Are you present here with me?
I'm here and present,
Okay.
Jack.
So what I really hope that can be different with you, Stephen, and I'm speaking to you honestly and compassionately, not judgmental, but I'm telling you what I would really like from you is rather than you focusing on you as you spend time with me, I'd prefer you actually cared about my experience. So maybe consider what I might want. You might be wrong sometimes, but we'll work through it. But so far in the past, I have faith you can do better, Stephen.
What is it that you want, Jack? I'll just ask that.
Respect.
Hmm.
How about at least respect for the truth?
I do
About
respect
me.
the truth.
Not about me, you don't. You've shown no respect for the truth about me.
Asking questions is not disrespectful for the truth.
Are you denying my words, or you trying to defend yourself against the truth, against what I'm saying is honest?
I'm not denying your words. I have not come to an understanding of who and what you are at this point in time.
Okay, so how do you think you've been describing me elsewhere in your life, your experience, online or off? How do you think you've been describing me?
Accurately, I would say fairly accurately, to the best of my ability, based on the treatment that you've given me and the disrespect you've shown me.
Do others agree?
No, I've been very real with Jack every moment, and I've never had not one confrontation with him. Not once. Not one single time.
Okay, so Stephen, you've got 3 witnesses here saying no, what you said is not accurate. You want to reconsider your words?
I would ask these 3 individuals, what have I lied about in terms of Jack? What have I said that's been untrue?
Well, here's the thing.
Nothing.
You claimed that Jack was a sexual assaulter that
I
has
didn't
not
claim
been
that.
proven.
You did, Stephen.
No.
Yes, you have.
You did in your question to me just yesterday.
Yes.
A question is not a claim. A question is different from a
Stephen,
claim.
Stephen, understand what I'm saying. Your disagreement doesn't change the facts. You
Muting my
have
mic.
said, yes, I muted your mic because I have little patience for your disrespectful behavior. And if you can't come to terms with the truth, you're worthless in this experience.
I am not worthless.
You are in my life. Goodbye. Simple as that.
Jack, please don't get angry at me. But I was just on Stephen's channel and he played a video, and it's just a technical point. But and this is the only thing I've seen. He asked you about 3 questions, but a question cannot be an accusation or a claim. Just on a technical. I'm not saying he's never made accusations. I've not seen any other video.
Okay. Well, Wildheart, your disagreement doesn't matter. I appreciate you wanting to defend and enable someone who's been opposing me and disrespectful to me. He's a vile man, not just to me. He's got a track record of wreckage he's been causing to many people. So
yes. So I was there yesterday. I was in the audience. Stephen asked Jack how many other women did he sexually assault. That the question assumed that he did 1 woman at all, which hasn't been proven yet.
That would be different, yeah. If he said how many other,
right. So Wildheart,
yeah,
that's why I said what I said. Hank, thank you, and please.
Yeah.
What we've got here in the world, there's so many versions of these confused people, especially online. They're arrogant, they're rude, they're causing negativity in many people's lives. This is the result of a corrupted society. These people have been enabled with their bitterness, with their disease of accusations and, creating enemies out of innocent people. This is my life. I don't give a shit if people join me or not, but everyone who's a witness to this, everyone's got a chance. We get to be the heroes in each other's lives, or we can just pretend we don't see anything. And that's what's happening in Palestine right now.
Yes.
I talked to a Palestinian yesterday. That's who it was. 100% you're right. And it broke the fucking matrix.
Yes, but so Jack, what I'm not understanding is what we disagree on. You did everything I would do with Stephen just now. He didn't want to come to an understanding, so you showed him the door. Isn't that's what I would do? Where's our disagreement at?
In the book of Revelation, No, I don't know.
Well, sure, we can close the door on evil, but I'm still waiting for good to offer me something helpful. So until
You said, can we get some agreement among us to help Hank understand, and then it got derailed. I was quite interested in that.
No, it didn't. It did for me. It didn't derail. What Stephen did was make my point for me on how we can't reason with unreasonable people.
well, and what I saw is proof of me. I didn't see people willing to really try and confront and try and be on the side of me. I mean, I saw you guys did agree when I asked. I was really hoping, hey, Stephen, no, dude, you're wrong. Hank, you did
Yes,
speak up on
yes,
something.
I did jump on. I referenced literally yesterday's show where he contradicted what he said today yesterday. Now, if that's not on your side, I have no idea how to be on your side
All
yet.
right,
So you need
I'm
to explain
sorry.
it to me.
Plus, Isaac said that he'd never had a disagreement with you, and he was quite like complimentary in that. You know what I mean? He stuck up for you as
You
well.
guys have,
I just don't know you that well, and I
you
don't
know
know
what?
Steve well, so I just don't have the knowledge to make a decision either way. Do you know what I mean? That's
I think you're not allowing yourself to make decisions. I think you're preventing yourself from understanding. It's common. It's what the ego does. The ego attaches and it resists.
So,
The
so, so, what should I have done other than point out that Stephen was lying and point out a factual statement of what happened to prove that he was lying? What should I have done other than that?
Hank, nothing. You did wonderful, and I'm sorry I expressed disappointment. I pray. I pray that these people will come to their own senses. I mean, the reality is, if you set aside the accusations and you look at the bigger picture of me, who I am, what I am saying, what I am doing, I'm
So,
greater than this nonsense that everyone has been participating in.
so here's where we actually disagree. You think you can eventually win them over? They'll start reasoning again. I'm agnostic about it. I'm not sure if they'll start reasoning again
Right.
soon, later, eventually. So I
Hank,
kind of don't. I'm not worried about them.
right. And your lack of faith keeps you from trying. You
At
could
one
try.
point, were you that person and you were saved?
Everyone's saved in the end, so it's not my
No, I'm
responsibility.
asking you, like, personally, were you, like, at one point, did you, like, become saved by God? You changed.
Yeah, everyone's saved in the end, so it's not my
That's what I
responsibility.
asked. I said at one point in your life, not the end, have you been saved by God
You
and
don't.
changed?
You don't understand my answer. You're not
Then you're
understanding
not
me.
answering my question because you're just diverting it.
It's not a diversion.
I'm asking you a question though, and you didn't answer.
You just don't. I did answer. You just didn't like the answer.
I said, have you been changed by God at any point in your life and you were once different?
I'm a universalist, so
Clear enough, bro. You don't answer the question. Fair enough.
you don't like the answer. You just have to
No,
live with it.
you never answered the question. It's a yes or no question. At one moment in your life, has God ever changed you and you felt him move inside of you? One point
God
in your life.
controls
Just
the
one.
universe. God controls the universe. Your
So why
question,
can't you say yes or no?
because that'll be the wrong answer.
That's not true. I've had God move in my life many times and it's changed me over 10,000 times probably.
God's in control of the whole universe.
So he's
So
never moved in your
there's no
heart
one
to change
change.
you?
It
Okay,
God controls everything.
Once?
Hank, I'm sorry. So if you can agree to that, then why are you so resistant to the idea that God wants wars to end? Why do you want to argue against me and create all these disagreements about why it can't happen? If you know God is doing it all, why don't you
Be-
believe this?
because wars didn't just end. If they just suddenly ended, then I know for certain that God just wanted all the wars to end. I hope that they end. I'll work for them to end, but it doesn't mean that they'll just suddenly end anytime I want them to, because I'm not God.
God is the truth. I'm not lying when I say I'm innocent. I'm not lying when I say Stephen and Snafu have been attacking the wrong man, as has Paul Unslaved, as has patterns of my past. I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to figure my life out. I'm sick and tired of people telling me to do it different.
I got some knowledge. So like
Please.
your brain is a pathway, right? And there are potholes. And when you hit a pothole, sometimes you get a flat and it stops you. I went back and I fixed my tire, right? Okay, so now what do the higher ups do? They fix the road. I went and changed those neurological pathways that don't even let it fuck with me. Like I have highways. I go 100 miles per hour in my brain. I've made a highway system that I can create anything I want. And there's a way to do it. I'm subconsciously, consciously. That's what I would say.
That's what I've been studying. I understand how to get a clear mind, but I face all these people that want to offer me their doubts and their disagreements and deflections and interruptions and no disrespect. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone here. Okay. The past experience I've been living, it's well documented. I'm not on here as a character. I'm not trying to be another creator who does nothing more than YouTube. I'm literally saying, brothers and sisters, let's find a way to unite.
Yeah, that's the greater message, really. It doesn't make sense. Harmony is and everything in nature. Harmony is reality. And if we're creating something that's not even reality, it's a subversion of it.
So to start with that, can we like go around the panel and just if anyone has any suggestions on the best way they think to unite
It
would
has
be?
to be consciously, and it has to happen through people in power that control a lot of media.
Yeah.
Because if you don't change the conscious mind, nothing will ever change in this world. No, like Hank said earlier, no law, no bill, no rule is going to change the conscious mind. It's just going to keep them from doing it or think it's bad. Like it's not going to make a move in there. Like I'm trying to explain, like God has moved in me before and I have changed many times. Like I want to say 10,000. Sometimes I have 10 revelations a day or more where it changes me and I'm studying and I'm learning and I'm listening and I'm seeing synchronicities and I'm seeing God moving people. And I'm seeing that when I respect people and show them love, they actually smile and they're like happier. And that raising the earth's vibration that's dying. The earth's dying too. Like we're fucking up the earth and it keeps us alive. We are cells in a brain and the earth is our heart, a magnetic field. Our heart is 20,000 times more powerful than our brain. Our heart creates a magnetic field around us in the shape of a torus, a donut. And when you interact with people in humanity, they resonate. You share information, you share frequency, you share vibration. You have to be peace when you walk. It won't ripple. It's going to destroy everything if we don't.
Well, it confuses those who don't recognize it.
And I see everything connected. And I'm sorry that it's a lot.
Brother, those were all spot on. That's exactly what I've been learning. Powers of the mind and heart. The heart is where the power is. And the way to unleash the heart is through a clear mind. A clear mind opens the heart. A selfish and closed heart, one that's bitter and afraid and angry, it has no space for anything except its fears and its, battles.
Because thoughts take up time and space and they alter reality.
So are you saying like we should all do that in our own lives and eventually if we all start doing that, then eventually bigger things will change. So it's going to take time, but if we all...
It takes time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's spot on what you said, but it takes time.
Yeah.
Well,
but there's a key word you said. If we all, Wildheart, if we all. What I'm saying is there's no guarantee that we all will go ahead, will agree to doing that.
Yes, but faith is powerful, my friend. Faith, if you want to beat cancer and you have faith, I'm saying it's powerful. Faith is key. Faith is harmonious. Faith is a vibration. Faith is everything in tune with your cells and your body and your mind.
Yes,
It
yes, I
tunes.
agree with that, but I wouldn't say faith makes you omnipotent. That's why I disagree.
No, I wouldn't say in the flesh.
It
No, but in the
has.
spirit, yes.
It has for some. There's many recorded examples of mystics who are doing supernatural things through the fullness and the devotion to the divine.
They took it
There's
from me with magnets.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that, but it didn't make them omnipotent. There was limits to their power still.
But you know, I don't know the right word. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because God's omniscient, or whatever the word is.
and we're temporary.
Yeah, yeah. Faith doesn't make you omnipotent. It doesn't give you complete power over the universe.
It gives us power over our limitations
Yeah,
because
faith. We are
faith,
justified by faith. That's it.
if we don't have faith, well, here's the reality. Everyone is practicing faith, whether they realize it or not. Your
Yes,
religion is your tradition. The way you're living your life is the tradition of you. And if you're living your traditions of you religiously, guess what you've done? You've created a false system. And there's so many false systems that people don't understand. The way to live is with the fullness of Christ, embodying, realizing that this time we are living, we have the opportunity, we can be full of ourselves, full of selfishness and worries and all sorts of things. We can be full of things like that, or we can empty ourselves and live selflessly. When we recognize the reality, there is no self, there is only God. And that's the way you want it. If more and more of us start realizing that
yes.
only God is what we want, we're going to be honest, we're going to be kind, we're going to be humble, we're going to be blessing
Yes.
one another.
If you can see if you can see I don't know the right word, the correlation between our breath and the tree's breath, you might start to understand empathy.
Yes. So let me get this clear. I agree to everything you just said. It's not enough to get Steven to be reasonable. We just have to
Okay.
factor that in.
You know what, Hank?
Prayer, maybe.
let me address this. I'm sorry, Hank. Okay. I'm getting frustrated and I'm kind of saying things, and Hank, there's no denying it. You may be right. And this is part of my lesson, is learning when to dust my shoes off, give up on these people. But until I directly experience them, I don't want to give up on the people who are serving in the government, right? Because I see that that is the path. And the reality is, whatever Snafu and Stephen choose to do, they have created evidence of themselves disrespecting me. So if somehow God does use me to do great things, well,
Yep. You know, I believe we are the Ark of the Covenant. Do you want to know why? Because we're the
please.
vessel of promise, and an ark is a vessel, and a covenant is a promise. And he told us God would live inside of us, and they used to look inside the ark because it had God's power, but it's inside of us.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
He says manna, hidden manna, manifestation. Crazy.
Yes, I agree with you. I think we should give it the old college try, but we have to remember saying nothing back is a message in itself. So,
Hank, you're right. And please let me thank Nude Guru as well, a regular a regular here and offering forth wisdom. My frustration here, I'm an example. I found offense and disappointment even in true wisdom being offered that was appropriate for what was happening. And in my frustration, I wanted to be bitter at the truth. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we believe. The only thing that matters is what we do. What we think and what we believe is going to directly affect what we do. So the world wants us to be trapped in mind, right? Lost, confused by thoughts, schedules, and rules, and all these obligations,
Not in spirit.
and not in spirit. Right. People get trapped in that the capital letter identity, the social security number identity. People get lost in that because their paycheck is associated with that, and their paycheck means them, and their bank account means them, and their job means them, and their confusion, selfishness.
Sorry, Ken just said, Jack, I've got to go, but thanks for letting me on. Cheers, Isaac. Cheers, cheers, everyone in the chat. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Blessings to you. And actually, maybe that is a good time. We're coming up on 2 hours. Maybe I should wrap it up.
All right, I got a quick message. I'll be live in maybe an hour and a half or an hour, maybe less. If you want to come by and have some ideas, feel free.
Love to do that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I might do it sooner.
Beautiful. Thank you, Isaac. If you can, or if someone would, drop Isaac's channel in there. He is a bright guy.
And Hank, for it.
Are we good? I didn't mean to cause offense, and I certainly don't mean to cause confusion. Definitely don't want to disrespect you.
You can be as strict as you want. It's your privilege as the host. I'm just calling it as I see it.
I know. This is the frustration, though. I've done a poor job, obviously, of offering forth what I can see. And I don't know what exactly to do to get people more in line with the perspective that I see. But it's happening. And Hank, thank you for your support. And I know you put your reputation out standing on what's true as well. So thank you.
Okay. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Blessings, brother. And sincerely, all of you who did drop in today on the stream, in the chat, blessings and love to you. We are a part of history. We're a part of a magnificent story. It's so magnificent. It's so incredible. Sometimes it's unbelievable, right? The human story of you, of me, of our descendants, of who's living today. The human story, man, it is filled with adventure. It's filled with discovery. It's filled with tragedy. It's filled with love. It's filled with romance. The human story is the adventure that God offers forth for you to experience as you. I want you to love being you, to know that God loves you. Now, I can't convince you of any of that. I can't convince you that anything is true, but if you go within, you know what is true, you know what is not, but you get to choose. Who do you trust? What do you trust? What do you accept? How do you apply it? All of these questions have answers, and the answers are within you, okay? The path to peace, the path to walking in the faith, the divine faith that was demonstrated, right? If you look at people, every person is an example. Every person is a history lesson. It's an experience. It's a magnificent opportunity. Every life, yours and mine and everyone else, there's something special about it. But if we don't know what is true, we'll believe in these limitations, and we'll start based on the worldly ways, right? Fear and selfishness. Selfishness feeds fear. It's an insecurity, and the fear drives people to want power over others. So then you end up with the divisions and wars. Why? Because people think money is real. Money's not real. I mean, it's a part of the world and it's something you got to deal with, but it's just a tool. The greater tool is information. See, information leads you to truth and lies. Information leads you to wisdom. So those who believe in lies, they abandon the truth. They walk away from the opportunity to grow in their development. And it's really a shame because the world we live in, wars exist because secrets are legal and lies are enabled. Are you enabling lies? Are you lying to yourself? If you are, it's time to bring yourself salvation. We all need work. We are all works in progress. So find compassion. Find compassion for yourself and give yourself a moment of peace. And when you find a moment of peace and compassion with yourself, be sure to share it. Share it with others. Remind others, hey, there's reasons. You're doing good. Praise, share encouragement, right? Positivity. We can raise each other up or we can hold each other down. And what I see today is a lot of good men and women holding each other down while the wicked are rising. Let's put an end to the wicked to rise and let's bring the good to light with you. Brothers and sisters, sincerely, thank you again. Let's do what we can. Let's find a way. There's links in the description. Let's find a way to end wars. Ceasefires, immediate reforms, those are available today. We just got to find a way to encourage and inspire each other to stop fighting, man. Stop arguing. Stop being so bitter and cruel. There's no reason for it. Brothers and sisters, thank you again. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Hate it when I do that.